It be a Wednesday. Oh, I forgot to start some stuff. That's all right. We will get to that soon. Let's go there. And then turn this down. Turn that down. It's not. And we got to go to. I just got to jump out here and get these here. Oh, look at that. I didn't fix my cameras, did I? I'll have to do that quick. Just give me a second. I don't know where I just put that. I think I put it in the wrong spot. I'll put it back in there. I'll go to me. I'm just going to put it in these two. Enter. Yeah, I know I got to fix my cameras. I will get to that in 1 second. Copy. Enter. Matrix. Enter. All right. Now I need to fix my cameras. Because apparently I did that, but I did not hit that button. There we go. Here I am. Yay! I don't know if it's yay or not, but I'm here. So let's get this here. Hi, Rover. Done. How's it going this morning? Tick, tick, 3 seconds. Up on here. Yeah, I just haven't got around to it. What are you doing, Don? No, I just been using it that way. I haven't printed nothing big on it, so it doesn't matter to me. I'll get to it. I just haven't. You know. Don there broke his computer. But, yeah, well, I'm going to try to do a PID tuning here today. But I don't know about it, how it's going to work out. Because I was going to try to use this repetier or host. It says it's connected, but I can't get it to do nothing. You know, so I do not know. It says it's moving, but it ain't controlling nothing. So apparently it ain't connected to nothing. So we'll just exit out of there. I don't know if you can do that in Cura or not. I was messing with it a little bit. You send a G code to Cura. Or not a G code, of course you can. A command G like an M303 command to it or not. I don't know. Where the hell to go? Somebody just did something. Somebody made a noise. Monitor. Printer is not connected. Why not? It was just connected. Maybe True wasn't always booted up. Sure, it was before. No, it's not. I mean, I know it is. But for some reason here, it is not giving it to me. Saying I'm not connected, which I am. Prepare. That's it. Pinky family. Make sure that's all in. Reconnect. Alright, now let's see what happens here. There it is. The freaking heck happened? Why'd you disappear? Cure just decided to shut off. Cool. That was weird, man. Really weird. Went to click to monitor, and it didn't like it. So I unconnected the printer, and then reconnected the printer, and then one person. Huh. Good job, Rover. I would have shot him. Kill them all. Profile. Manage profiles. Extruder. Extruder. Material. Post process. We don't need that. Hey, trolling for dollars. Good morning. Let me see if it knows who it is now. There it is. Now it's okay. See it. So now it's moving it.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. You got lost there this morning, Don.
Wow. Oh, yeah. I got to pop out the chart, too.
Yeah.
There it is. And who do we have here? Rover.
Job name. Print.
John Mac.
Or print.
Trolling for dollars. Hey, good morning, everybody. Konnichiwa. Ni hao.
Jake from State Farm. Good morning.
And Jake is here, too. Hello. Howdy.
Okay, now it says send a custom G-code command to the connected printer. Pause, enter. Oh, pause, enter to send. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. See what it does. I guess I didn't understand it before. M303. Just see. I just want to see what happens. But it doesn't highlight it. So I don't understand.
Rover knows a little bit of Japanese.
Yeah.
Nihongo wa totemo musukai desu. Hey?
This is English here, Don. Don't let people speak Mexican. I ain't gonna let them speak whatever the hell you're speaking.
That was Japanese.
I don't care what it was.
And what I said was Japanese is a hard language to learn. Yes?
I understand that. This is English, man. English.
Been over 30 years. Huh?
English, I say, my friend. All right. Let's try this again. So how the heck do you do this?
Hey, Jeff has his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
You know who Jeff is, right? Jeffrey Wright.
Nope.
What is it? What's his channel again? You know, the 365 print.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just go here and see. Okay.
Oops.
Says to shoot, says enter command for 4. I suppose it might be more interesting if you guys can see what the heck I'm doing, but right now I'm just trying to figure it out for myself. I am more than happy. But suggestions. I don't know if you can do this over this or not.
83 one-year tech school. Nice.
Sure.
He put out over and over. Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Take a look at this frog.
Hang on.
Let me show you something else first. This is the part that Hertz sent me back with that roll of filament.
Yeah.
I was having problems with that they supposedly printed from that roll of filament, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what I got out yesterday.
Yeah.
Take a look at the under extrusion line.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
But the thing's holding good together, you know? It's holding good together. 15% infill. The infill must be perfectly printed, but yeah. You can see, and the color change in that too.
Hey, show him how's it going.
I show him here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
And then, oops, a couple prints I did yesterday. This one kind of failed, but does it look neat?
Oh,
it's got really good detail on it. How the heck am I going here? And you get up close, I mean, just the scales and everything on it is just cool. Still got some more cleaning and stuff.
That's the one that has only 1 foot on the plate?
Yeah. I mean, you still got some support underneath this foot right in here. Once I can't quite get it up high enough there. But if you look at them forward. But my supports didn't quite work out on this side, and he lost a leg.
Oops.
But besides that, I mean, I just love the detail of his scales and his body and everything. You know, it's just awesome.
Yeah. That's a 3-legged dino, huh?
Yeah, a running one on top of it. Hobbling along, he is.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. And then for my other print, I haven't even taken the supports off yet.
No?
But look at the colors in that.
Oh.
Isn't that pretty?
Be careful. Be careful taking them.
We're going to do that right now. I just wanted to show it with the supports on first.
Hey, good morning, Papa.
Hey, good morning, Papa brothers. How's it going this morning? Yeah, I'm not going to go all gung-ho like I did that other one.
Be careful. Be careful.
That's just, I love that filament, man.
If it doesn't come off easy, use the knife and cut it.
No, it comes off easy. This time I used, looks like it got a little bit of over extrusion on it because it's got some pimpling, you know?
Well, that's something you can use the X-Acto knife and just cut it.
Yeah.
Cut it plain and you won't see anything.
But I'm going to leave it on there for now. I'm just trying to get the sport off here quick.
Slowly, slowly. We have a couple hours time.
Yeah, I know, but it's coming off easy, except for I just messed that up. Yeah, darn it. Maybe.
Yeah. Just think about the last one where you had to glue 3 parts together.
Yeah, I know. I mean, as far as that goes, no, that ain't happening this time. We're on good
Cool, Papas. You getting Ender 3 today, huh?
All right, cool. All right, now look at that.
The top.
That's got some just beautiful colors.
Oh, that one really looks nice.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I wouldn't have got all these colors in there if I wouldn't have used all that support. You know, I had to use that much support because it's so thin here.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have only had one color, you know, basically through the whole thing. It would have all pretty much been that teal or green, you know.
Yeah.
It starts out purple, goes kind of yellow, then green, or teal, and then green. And I don't know.
That thing looks
like a reddish, and then a pink, and then a yellow again, and back to a reddish color.
That thing looks really nice.
Yeah, I think she's going to like this one.
Oh, yeah.
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 Well, I still haven't went back to purple yet. You know,
I can't tell you which one I like better.
Yeah, I mean, they're both just super cool.
Yeah.
You know, I just love this color changing filament or the rainbow filament or whatever they call it. You see, it's just got some zitting on it from over extrusion.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like you got to set your extrusion rate down to 100%, huh?
Well, no, not 100. That's too low. I just got it a little bit too high. I got it at 110 right now.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But for candies, for the other one there, that's actually a good extrusion rate. You know, there ain't no. I mean, look at the platform on this. You know, I mean, that's just butt smooth.
Wow.
You know, that's just there ain't one zit on that sucker. So.
And that was with the same extrusion?
Yep, same extrusion, same settings, same everything, except for different printers, you know, and that's just the thing, that, you know, different printers.
Yeah.
Ready to make shift knife.
Keep an eye out. It will be the Tomb Raider makeshift knife, huh?
I don't know what he's meaning there.
Yeah. Gave a shot.
All right, we'll see you show him.
Streaming zoomed in on my channel.
Yeah, that Tomb Raider knife. That ought to be pretty cool.
Yeah, Sean. Keep an eye out for tomorrow. I'll be doing the live stream.
Yep, tomorrow will be Don's day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah, we'll have some fun.
Hey,
my troll showed up.
Hey, God bless. Take care, Sean. Have a nice day.
I jumped on that. No, you guys missed the Raider knife.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I seen that. I read that.
Your troll is already there.
Morning, Ricky. Yeah, see, look at that. How long you been there? The only reason I noticed you is because I've been watching the comments, and Papa narked you off.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that Ricky tries to jump in the live stream, and just kind of sits there until we notice him.
Yeah. Good morning, Ricky.
Look at that one, Ricky.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man.
See that lizard there?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good detail on him. But, yeah. I don't know how long you've been sitting there, but did you see that face that I printed last night?
I did.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
That's cool.
Yeah, I just love it. This supports look really cool, too.
I have no practical use for a filament like that. But, yeah.
You do or don't?
Don't.
Well, you know, I really don't either, except for this.
Like
Wednesday crap, you know.
Like if I was going to do it, you know, because if I was like trying to print like the bodies of one of my vehicles, I would have to have all the parts on the build plate at the same time to make sure the gradient was consistent from front to back of the vehicle.
Yeah. Yep, that you would.
So yeah, I would have to put every single body part and sliced in the same orientation on the build plate at the same time and pray that none of the parts failed.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Otherwise, start all over and you'd burn up the whole kilo. But for $10, you know, you just couldn't go wrong. Couldn't go wrong there.
How much do you have left from it?
Oh, shnikes. I still have over half a roll.
Oh, nice.
But that's why I don't print it right away. I don't use it right away. I try to get it perfected with other filaments before I use this.
I hear you.
You know, because I don't want to be having failed prints and stuff with this. Because that's all I got, and now it's what, $25-$30 a roll.
Yeah.
And good morning, Ed, and good morning, Trolling for Dollars.
Yep. So, yeah, I was going to try to do a PID tuning this morning here, and I haven't figured it out yet.
They are due in tomorrow, but I will be on the road. I'm playing the Stoddard County Fair in Dexter, Missouri tomorrow.
No, that don't sound like a country song. I don't know what does.
On the road again.
Yep. And I don't know what she did on the bottom of this one, and I forgot about it. That it prints three different, it starts over here with the support. Then it comes over here and prints like this piece here. And then it goes to the center. And then it connects these two. And then it connects these three. It's weird. I forgot about that.
I don't think it's complete. The bottom surface can't be completely flat then.
Yeah, and I forgot about it. And I should have dropped it down into the bed a little bit, And Kira, you just sink it.
I cleaned out my nozzle. And while I was at it, I went ahead and switched filament colors. So that means I'll have to switch back to the gray at some point, but I'm going to start printing some of the khaki.
Nice.
Colors. But the steering wheel's become my test print because it's 11 minutes.
Yeah, you might as well. Yeah. and it tells you how your support is and everything because it's pretty much all support.
Right. So I got tons of steering wheels right now.
Yeah. That's cool. Now back to I'm gonna pop my Cura back up here. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, darn it.
So the power supplies are due in tomorrow. Then I work I'm on the road, and then I work Friday daytime. So it'll be Friday night or Saturday morning before I can start messing with them.
In G code, pause, enter to send. It says pause, enter to send for this send G code. But pause isn't highlighted, isn't clickable. So I can do a PID tuning with Cura, and I don't know if you can.
So I think I got my nozzle jam solved, and how I solved it was I heated it up. I pulled the filament that was in there out, and then I took a guitar string and ran it up into the nozzle.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you probably have plenty of enough, don't you?
Yeah, oh yeah, and so that it was all the way through the nozzle. I knew it was far enough in by the length that it would, was all the way up past, all the metal, that it made it all the way up into the Bowden tube. And then I just grabbed a hold of the string with my pliers, and I started working the string back and forth. And every time I would pull the string down and push it back up, it would squeeze a bunch of crap out around the edge of the nozzle. And I just kept working it back and forth until no more crap was coming out of the nozzle.
Nice. Yeah, rubber, I do know Repetier hose, but problem with that is right now, for some reason, I don't know why. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why. I have no idea what I'm doing. But, yeah, I know. That's what I wanted to use was Repetier hose to whatever.
I think only Tom Sandlatter and Chris Riley know exactly what they're doing at all times.
Yeah, I can totally understand that one.
Well, and probably Daniel that is on Ron's Sunday streams. Those guys, they know what they're doing at all times. The rest of us, we're just fumbling through figuring it out.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Some of us do more fumbling than others. I do a lot of fumbling.
Hey, Mike, you were talking about expensive filaments, and special colors that you don't use all the time. Well,
yeah,
that's the rest from that copper filament that I have.
Yeah.
And this roll of filament, it was not full when I got it. As you can see, the spool is a lot smaller. And they say that there's only 500 grams total on this spool. And the only thing, and that was right off the bat, without any problems at all, without any garbage, that was this gnome figure that I printed, for the filament review.
Yeah. Now, can that be polished?
If you try to polish this, because I had a couple of zits on it, and I tried to cut them off, and you can see right up there, it has a silver look to it. So I'm not really sure. About polishing that, but
I'd be interested to see if you bought, like a polishing kit for a Dremel tool, and ran an actual, polisher on it, like with the paste and all that.
I have a Dremel tool, and I have a complete assortment of bits for it, including polishing. I don't have any paste.
It'd be interesting to see if you get a hold of some of the polishing compound and gave it a go, see what it would do.
I should, if a hardware store is good sorted, I should be able to get some polishing paste there, right?
Yeah, and the paste isn't expensive, so.
Next time I'm at the hardware store, I will see if I can get some polishing paste for it. That's something that would interest.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine a little tube would cost more than $2 or $3.
Yeah, that's something I want to try out, because if that works, that would be really interesting.
Yeah, what's the worst that'll happen? You ruin your little gnome print.
Well, and I have enough there. I can print another one.
Right. Yeah. So, I always look at risk versus reward. If the risk here is you'd have to print another one.
Mr. Buttram, good morning.
Mr. Buttram here? Yeah, good morning, Mr. Buttram.
Bumped in.
Yeah. But, oh, hey, there was a question that I wanted to ask you all. Yeah, especially you, Ricky, and you, Mike.
What I do know.
When you started thinking about 3D printing, who was the person that inspired you, and which printer did you get first?
Okay, well, the the first person, like once I realized that 3D printing had become attainable, you know, because to me, you know, those $2,000 and $3,000 maker bots and whatnot, that's not attainable.
Yeah.
Because I will never be able to justify spending that kind of money on a hobby. But once I realized that you know, decent machines could be had for, you know, $300, $400, $500, that's when I, you know, really started kind of researching it and watching a lot of YouTube videos. And the first guy that I came across was Joel. And then after Joel, Tom Sandlatterer and Angus and then Joe, 3D Maker Noob.
Yep.
And then I think after that, I started watching 3D Printing Professor, but I haven't really been paying attention to his stuff lately. And then I started watching, and the people that really kind of became more inspirational were some of the smaller YouTubers.
Yeah.
And by smaller, I mean they still have 4,000 or 5,000 people watching their channel, but compared to 200,000, it's, you know, their content was a lot more everyday content, you know, kind of approachable to an average Joe, a beginner.
Yeah.
So people like James over at Print and Play and Chris Riley, Chris's Basement, you know, they became bigger influences for me as far as 3D printing was concerned. But and then Chris Riley was instrumental in getting me to share my first design with Thingiverse, because, you know, I'd been designing stuff and I was sitting in one of his streams one day and I said, you know, I've got these things that I think are ready to print, but I don't know because I don't have a printer. And he said, man, the public will be your beta tester. Just go ahead and put it out there. And so that's when I sliced up or my step van, saved all the STLs and put them up on Thingiverse. And I actually did it during one of his streams. And yeah, so, you know, I guess, you know, those guys are bigger influences now than even Joel and Tom Sandlatterer and Angus.
I have to agree with you. And you, Mike, who was the first person that you watched that inspired you into 3D printing?
Gosh, you know.
Oh, come, it can't be that long ago.
I'm trying to think, man. You know, my memory ain't all that good, Don. You know that. But I think it probably was Tom.
Yeah, Tom Sandander.
Yeah, that I seen first, and I mean, I was doing casting prior to printing, and I knew about printing. I knew about 3D printing. I just, once, like Ricky said, I didn't think it was at all feasible.
Yeah.
And so after I started watching more and looking more and seeing the prices of them, and so then I started just watching for months. I watched for probably 2 or 3 months before I ordered a printer. But yet, still, after watching that long, I should have known not to order that Tronxy P802, but I did. And that was my first printer.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to answer. The first printer is the X1 sitting right there.
Yeah.
Nice. And what was your first printer, Mike?
The Tronxy P802, the one that Slug just bought.
It's nice. Tronxy's A8 knockoff, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I call it, as an A8. But yeah, basically.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah. Well, and I have to say, my inspiration to 3D printing, that came from Joel Telling, 3D printer nerd, and believe it or not, Barnacle.
Barnacle didn't do a whole lot of 3D stuff anymore.
Not anymore, but 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, he was doing a lot of 3D printing every once in a while, and he was doing some videos on that. But then,
I think he moved away from that because some of his other interests made him more money on Twitch.
yeah. And then from there, I started watching Maker's Muse, the Angus.
Yeah.
And from there, I came to Tom. To Tom Sandander. I came over to his channel. But just like you said, Ricky, some of the smaller ones. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's moving.
Chris from Chris's Basement is a really interesting channel to watch.
Because Chris is he's a very intelligent guy, but he explains it in a way that everybody can understand. And if his explanation is beyond your comprehension, then you're probably in over your head.
Yeah, then you're watching some stuff that you're not ready for.
Right.
Yeah.
Because his explanations, he finds a way to break it down in such a common sense way that if you can't follow along, if you can't understand what he's doing, then you're probably in over your head with 3D printing anyway.
Yeah. And well, because of my financial situation, I was able back in 2015 to get a Wanhao i3, the version 1 of the first Wanhao i3s that came on the market. I was able to get that from a Facebook friend. His father had a 3D printing company, and he wanted to get another bigger one. I think he wanted to get the CR10 back then. I'm not sure, or whatever it was. But he offered me his Wanhao i3 for 375 euros. And I said, hey, I can't pay you that much at one time. And he said, how much can you pay me per month?
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be with you in a second.
Okay. And he asked me, how much can you pay me per month? And I said, well, let's just say between 75 and 100 euros per month, I could pay you. He said, okay, no problem. I asked him for his bank information, and I'd send him the first 100 before he sent me the printer as proof that I am willing to do that. You know what he said? No. You send me the money after you have the printer, after you have it put together, sitting on your desk, and it's printing. Then you send me the first 100, which was really cool. And after 4 months, that printer was paid and it was mine.
There you go.
And the best part about it, I did have, after it was paid, I did have a problem with it. There was some kind of a short somewhere. I didn't know where it was or whatever, but he told me, Tobias, he told me, pack it up, send it to me. We'll check that out. I'll fix that for you and send it back. Done. Printer was gone for a month, and I'm sitting here, oh man, shit, I want to print, but no printer there. And then all of a sudden, I got the package back with a letter in it. Hey Don, don't be surprised. We did a little bit of update on your printer for you too. My dad wanted to make a test, and when I opened up the package was larger, of course, compared to when it's unscrewed and flattened. It was a big package, and then I opened it up. That Wanhao i3 that had Z support on it and 6mm alu bed on it. That was crazy. But yeah, that was how it was working for me. And Ben is here. Hello, Ben. How you doing, buddy?
Oops, I hit a button. Good morning, Ben.
Yeah.
Trolling for dollars. The firmware that I'm using, the firmware on the S4 is the TH3D unified firmware, which it'll get updated again when I have time to. When I have time to put this on.
Cool. Do you already have the mount for it?
No, I got to print them out.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But the STL files for that and everything are on his website. I just got to make sure. I got to make sure that the mount I'm looking at doesn't interfere with the fan cooler that is on the printer. So I'll have to print it out and make sure it doesn't, clash with that. And as long as it doesn't, then I'll use that.
Yeah.
Oh, the A8 is running the stock firmware. It doesn't even have, which is part of the reason I don't leave it alone. It doesn't even have the thermal runaway enabled.
That is something strange, with the printers.
And it appears to be by the options on the menu. It doesn't tell you what type of firmware it is, but it appears to be Repetier. The X1 is running Repetier, and it's the exact same menu.
Yeah.
You're saying you know how to work this Repetitor?
And Helix is here. Hey, Helix, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
And right now, I'm printing a Lazy Susan.
I ain't printing nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't worry about it that much because I don't run it. I don't run either one of these two unattended. I don't I don't go to bed. I don't walk away. I don't leave the house. Anything that's going to go wrong that would cause a fire on a 3D printer, it's not an instantaneous thing. It's not, sudden dramatic explosion or combustion unless you're doing something really stupid.
Yeah.
So
or real fun.
Yeah. As long as you're around to watch it and usually you can tell the warning signs like it gave me its own warning sign when it tripped the circuit breaker.
Yeah. Yeah. You already got the power supply for that one?
It's on its way.
It's on its way. Nice.
On its way. It should be here tomorrow.
That means tomorrow. Oh, no, wait a minute. You're not even going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the stream.
Yep.
Oh.
And as far as destroying the main board, if it destroys the main board, I'll order another one. They're $15.
Minnesota makers.
Oh, yeah, trolling for dollars. I would be worried about destroying the main board.
Yeah, for me, it's just such a cheap printer that I really don't care if it destroys itself. If it does, it just gives me an excuse to clear it off the shelf and buy something else to take its place.
Like an Ender 3, huh?
Actually, if I were to replace it right now with another printer and its similar print volume, I think I would go with the G-Tech A10M.
G-Tech A10M?
Yep.
That's a G-Tech tells me something. A10, that's the 300 by 300?
No, it's about the same size as the A8 and the Ender.
Ah, okay.
It's an Ender 3. It's an Ender 3 clone, basically, by G-Tech. But the M is it's got a mixing nozzle on it and 2 extruders.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, and it's $250.
Oh, that's a nice
Hey,
price.
Trucker, good morning.
Yeah.
And the Ender 3 right now, do you happen to know?
The Ender 3 right now is 170.
180. Yeah.
Yeah.
179. Free
Yeah, I
shipping.
think GearBest has it for 169.99 right now.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
That could be because they came out
169.
with that new one.
So, you know, 80, 90 bucks more, I can get the A10M.
Yeah,
And
no, I'm just,
mixing colors.
I'm just thinking about, the items that I have on eBay right now for sale. If I sold all of that, I would have the money together and I could buy one from GearBest.
There you go.
Yeah. But then I would have to sell a few other things too, just to make sure that I have the money for the import tax.
Maybe that's all.
Because I don't think that thing's going to be coming through with DHL. You know, where they say,
Yeah, I was talking to Timothy Hoagland a couple of weeks ago,
yeah,
and he said, mechanically it's about the same as the Ender 3. He said, but really it's actually a little bit superior of a printer to the Ender 3. He said, now the thing that most people look at is the screen and stuff isn't as nice as the screen on the Ender 3.
yeah.
He said, so, it is a cheaper screen. He said, but the machine itself is actually just a little bit better machine. He said it may require a little more tuning. He said, but it'll go farther ultimately than the Ender 3.
Okay.
With a little work, you can get more out of it.
Well, that sounds interesting.
And now having the A10M with the mixing nozzle and dual extruders,
Yeah.
that might be cool to play with. And at that price point, you can't touch, a mixing machine of any volume at that price point.
Not really.
See what Trucker said, Ricky?
Yeah, that he's ordering one.
No.
Same as Ender 3 mixing nozzle. And Ricky, you should drive to Chicago and buy Tim's X5S for $200. Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
that's a little too far to drive for a printer.
How much would you need, Ricky? $150, $200 for the gas?
Oh, I don't know. It's just, that's a long way. It's not close.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's not close, and I don't enjoy driving the way I used to. Let's see.
From you to Chicago?
Yeah.
500, 700
Let's see.
miles?
Directions. Yeah, it's about 7 hours. One way. So it'd be 14-hour round trip.
Oh.
And probably probably $120, $150 worth of gas.
Add that
in about 2 hours.
Add that to the price from the 200, for that printer.
Yeah.
Then you could order one at GearBest and let it come right to your front door.
Yeah, but the difference there would be Tim has owned that thing for a while. Tim doesn't own any printer for very long before he has made significant upgrades to it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You would probably get a better printer from him.
One that actually prints well.
Yeah.
Because the X5S stock from the factory does not print hardly at all if it prints. It's the out of the box, they're terrible machines. Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
They definitely need a lot of work. Yeah, I wish I had the $200. I'd drive down there and get it, man. Because like I say, it's only a 2-hour drive for me.
Yeah.
But I need keep money for rent.
And a lot of that is in the name of R&D for his company.
Yeah.
he's turned his AlphaWise U10 into an absolute beast.
Oh, cool.
And, you know, from the factory, they've got a lot of problems too. But, you know, he's got his printing beautifully.
Yeah. The X5S.
That's that he took off of it the other day, and man.
Yeah. The X5S, that's Core XY, right?
No, the U10. The U10 is that 400 by 400 by 500 CR10 clone.
Yeah. No, but Trucker wrote
X5S is Core XY, yes.
Yeah, the X5S. Yeah. Yeah, I was watching his I think it was a live stream where he was doing the build from that.
Yeah, but like you can go look at Chris Riley's latest video about the X5S.
Yeah.
And in order for him to get decent prints off of it, he had to put a Duet Wi-Fi on it and replace a bunch of the brackets, the acrylic brackets, with machined aluminum.
Yeah, I think he broke one of those acrylic brackets during the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was a bit pissed off that evening.
and
I know. Well, you pay more for the Duet than you do the printer.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have more money in the Duet Wi-Fi and the panel do than you'd have in the whole rest of the printer.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, if Tim's, like you said, Tim has it, so it should be running good and everything should be fine, and you shouldn't need a Duet on it.
Yeah, he like I said, he wouldn't keep a printer that he couldn't modify to be good.
Duet on it, just send him the Duet and have him put it on and get it running right, and then go get it.
Right?
Yeah,
that'd be the easy way.
Yeah, trolling for dollars.
For you.
Trolling for dollars. Chris has nothing nice to say about the X5S.
No, he doesn't. It's although I'm thinking that just about anything with the with that name on it right there is a crappy printer. It really is. Just about anything that's got that Tronxy name on it. Just,
why is this?
I love my X1, I do, but the quality is not there.
Huh.
All right, this is weird. This isn't changing when you guys talk.
Huh? What's going on, Mike?
It's not changing over here for me.
Huh?
It's not changing on YouTube because it changes for me.
Oh, does it? Okay, well, it's not changing for me, so that's fine.
I don't have the YouTube
not
changing
changing on
so I don't know if
YouTube
it's changing for the folks watching.
It's changing for me too.
It's not changing on YouTube. I'm looking at the YouTube channel right now.
Yeah, I've got it on my private one, and I don't see it changing there.
Have
you got somebody in presentation mode?
Nope. I just tried that. I mean, if I click on presentation, then it goes to you, but otherwise it goes right back to me.
Good morning. And Joe is there. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Jump my mic off and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly, Bill. Tronxies they're cheap tinkerer machines. You got to be a tinkerer to own one to get any decent quality out of it. But then, you know, you look at their competitors, and the price difference between comparable machines isn't enough to make it worth tinkering. The only thing that makes the X5S worth it is nobody else sells a Core XY kit of any quality anywhere near that price.
How much is that one, Ricky?
Oh, the X5S is like $300.
Well, the Ender 4 cost around that price too.
Right, but you're talking the Ender 4's build volume is what? 200 by 200 by 200?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
While the X5S for $300 is 330 by 330 by 400.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah.
Well, and if it's that big, you can always just like you said, I mean, take it apart or use it for parts.
Right. Out of the box, it's not a good machine. But if you take time to make the frame more rigid and replace the really bad electronics in it, because that's the biggest thing, is the main board in them are just garbage.
Right, but now if you put $150, say the Fouet that Walter's got, now you're at $450. Could you have bought something for that price for $450 to $500?
No, and so, but then you still got to. They've got some bad engineering decisions they made with how they routed their belts and things like that. So you have to replace all those brackets and reroute your belts.
So now you're at about $550.
Yeah.
But you still got 330 by 330 by 400.
Right.
On a Core XY.
Right. And then, you know, if money's not an object, then you're best to look elsewhere. But if you're wanting to do something on the cheap, the thing you could do is you could buy the X5S really cheap, and then you put a little bit of money into it here and there. And by the time you had a total of $500 or $600 in the machine, have a really nice machine. But if you're someone who just has, you know, plenty of money and money's not an object, then go get yourself a Railcore.
You know, I'm not a fan of that Railcore. I don't like the side panels on it. I like the open. I don't know. I don't know why I like the open air concept better.
And Project Red is getting ready to sell Railcore kits. They've partnered up with the guy who designed the Railcore, and they're going to sell complete turnkey, you know, Railcore kits where you get all the parts necessary and you sit down and put it together. But right now the price range is looking at like $1,700 to $1,800 for the kit.
Wow. Well, probably good components. Good morning, Colin.
Hey, how's it going?
Morning, Colin. Yeah, it's a duet Wi-Fi with a panel do and linear rails and, you know, high quality linear rails, not cheap ones.
Yeah, if you're going to do linear rails, you might as well spend for them, because the difference between low and high cost ones is not that big, relatively speaking. I mean, you're already talking $50 to cover, $50 to $60 to cover one axis in even the cheapest linear rails, so with blocks and so on. So you might as well spend the $150 you're going to spend to do it right.
And the difference in quality between low quality linear rails and high quality linear rails is night and day.
Right. It far outstrips the difference in cost.
Yeah.
Trolling for Dollars says he's keeping an eye on the Project R3D.
Yeah. Yeah, they started taking pre-orders for the kits yesterday.
What's the price of the kit?
It's not set in stone yet. I think the website said they're expecting them to be, $1,500 to $1,700.
Oh,
and you're spending the pre-order. You're spending $50 to get put in a slot to be first in line.
Does that reduce the price of the product, or is that added to the price of the product?
Well, I imagine the $50 that you're putting down goes towards the price of the kit. But the risk there is not knowing how much the kit is going to be.
Yeah, well, it's like buying a Tesla, except far less risk.
It's working.
And from my perspective, I can go source the linear rails, the extrusions, the nuts, bolts, and screws and stuff like that through work, and I can get all that at cost. So for me, I'd just rather have the plans.
Yeah. Well, the plans already up on Thingiverse.
See, that's
so you can just pull up the BOM on Thingiverse and order all your parts.
Well,
but is that the one? Is that the one with the acrylic sides though, or is that the one with the extrusions?
No, it's not extrusions, but it's not acrylic.
Because I don't like those that side paneling.
Yeah, the sheet metal ones suck.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a fan of that at all.
It's because you order the side panels from the guy. See.
Right. Then I don't want panels.
Well, the side panels have to mount on something, so presumably they mount on extrusions, right? So
kind of. The extrusions are like a thinner extrusion.
Oh, that's not so good.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The switching is working, Mike, but I don't hear you.
Yeah, it's working. It might be working for you guys, but it's not working on YouTube, and it's not working for me.
Ah, strange.
Well, isn't YouTube? Well, YouTube is drawing off of your stream, right?
Correct. You guys are all
so.
Me.
So
it's
the only reason it wouldn't
for you guys, but
right.
if I don't see it switch, I mean, I'm watching YouTube also, and it's not switching.
The only reason it wouldn't switch for you is if you've set it in presentation mode for yourself. Now you have the option to set it in presentation mode for yourself or for everyone. So it's possible that you just have it set for yourself.
No, I don't.
Okay, just checking.
Yep. No, because I've number one, when you click it on presentation mode, your little screen is is outlined in white.
Right.
And it's not. And if I click it, it is. And now it's not. And I can click on Don. And now Don's presented. I want to see if he actually gets put up.
So yeah, the sides are cut out of HDPE panels, which is a high density polyethylene, which is a thermoplastic.
Huh.
Right.
They are CNC cut out of HDPE.
And why do I need that extra expense? Is my point.
Frame rigidity.
But
so
that's
if
only
I just go with if I go with a 30 by 30 extrusion, I've got rigidity there.
Right, but it's like have you ever put together one of those pressed wood bookshelves, and they give you that, and they give you that piece of cardboard that you have to run all the little nails in around the back?
Oh yeah.
All right. Have you ever flexed that bookshelf before you put the piece of cardboard on the back?
Oh no, I've done designs where with all that stuff, but
it's the same,
because that's what I used to do. Is I used to do design for manufacturing. Right. So, but that's my point. You don't have to enclose the whole thing in order to make it rigid. You can put cross braces, and you'd be just as fine.
Right. I mean, you could do that out of 8mm rod just as easily.
Yeah. I think, just because they designed it to be that way, and possibly they designed it to be that way so they would have a product to sell if you want to build one.
Right. Well, Spannerhands did the same thing with their filament rack. They designed a snazzy little rack, and then they said, we'll sell you the laser cut parts of it, which is not a bad business model, really.
No, but it's a great business model. I just
obnoxious, though, like you say, yeah.
If I'm gonna build a thing, I want to build it, I guess, to my liking.
Yeah, it would be nice if they offered plans with the alternate choice of if you want these sides or you don't.
Yeah, and like Scalda said, you could just build yourself a hypercube and use linear rails for your motion.
And that's kind of what I've been drawing up, anyways. Is doing that exact thing. Using Ricky's design instructions on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sorry, I had to get that plug in there for you, Ricky.
Right, except not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'll be driving to Dexter, Missouri tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be Dawn.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
I hope you'll join.
Probably. I drive in every day. I watch you guys and join when I can.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I can't figure this out. I can't. I've clicked like every freaking button but disconnect.
And It's working on YouTube now.
No, it's not. I got you locked on.
You got me locked on?
Yep, I have you locked on right now. No, I'll lock Ricky on there. I'll go to Ricky. I can lock you guys
that just means you got to play the part of the control room operator and producer of the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but hey, Joe, as long as I got you here, I have 2 questions for you. Who inspired
the answers are 1 and 2.
Yeah. Question 1, who inspired you for 3D printing? And 2, what was your first printer?
So question 1 is a friend of mine from work, Bruce Rohrbacher. He's the one that got me to start 3D printing. And in a way, I could say it's him because he pushed me to borrow ours from work. And the one that I borrowed from work was a 3D Systems Cube 3, which is a pile of junk.
That goes back a long ways.
Yeah, well, and that was just at the beginning of this year. Now, however, I had been tinkering with that Cube 3 over the last 2 to 3 years at work with the guy that was in our he kind of does like training for our equipment that we sell, like all of our tools and stuff like that we sell. And we were selling this Cube 3. The company I work for was. So, it was in their area, and because they would take it out for demos and stuff like that, but I would tinker around with it every once in a while whenever he would let me at work.
Okay.
But I really didn't start into it until like this past December, when I actually borrowed it and took it home and
never took it back.
No, that one actually is back. I went and bought my own Cube 3 because I thought, hey, this is cool and everything, and I found that you could hack it so that you didn't have to use their filament, and then using like third-party filament, it just started to the extruders started to grind because they're a square peg, and they fit into a slot, and that's what drives the extrusion. Well,
Okay.
that square peg rounds out because there's no set screw on it because they use the cartridge filament. So then I designed my own I designed my own sleeve to fit over that peg to go onto the round, to be round on the inside, so that I could set screw a gear on there, the extrusion gear, and then I put kind of like on the Ender 3, how you have the extruder component, and you kind of push it and push the filament through that.
Yeah.
I went and bought one of those off of Amazon, and I fit it to the side of that thing, and and I had made my own my own sleeve. Well, I was just getting really, really bad prints. I was getting so when I was printing my Dragon Lock dungeon tiles, between all the bricks, I was getting all these little like dimples and just I guess you could call them zits or whatever inside of there. So I had to clean between every single brick on the dungeon tiles, and I was just getting ticked. And that's why I got the Prusa. And then that thing's a beast. That thing prints like crazy for me.
Yeah,
that's a pretty wide range product range there, going from Cube 3 to Prusa.
Then I was like, okay, because I've got that thing running all the time ranking Dragon tiles. I wanted to print other stuff, and I was like, well, and I picked up that, that's why I picked up that Ender 3. So I barely use the Cube 3 now, just because it has issues. And now that I've learned more and more and more about how prints go, now I'm starting to learn that my Bowden tube is probably too long on that, and that's probably the cause of some of my problems. as far as under extrusion is going on that
From what
Q3. So I might, because you can't use Cura or a third party or Cura or any of the common slicers to slice your G code, and it's not G code. It's what's called Cube 3 code, or the file extension is called Cube 3. It's a specialty file that runs on their system only. Now there is supposedly, if you run an older version of Cura, you can do all that stuff, and then there's a small converter app that will actually convert it from G code into Cube 3. But having the other two printers, I really haven't found the time to work on it. It's not that I don't want to, I just haven't found the time. And now that I understand retraction speeds better, I understand better. I don't understand them completely, just better than what I did then. Now I think if I change the length of that Bowden tube, I could probably fix my under extrusion problems on that Cube 3 and use it for simple stuff like, like my Dragon Lock tiles. To lock the tiles together, there's a clip. I could have that thing print. It's just a ton of clips,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Colin?
I will blame it on my buddy Bruce from work that plays D&D with us. Inspire me to get going on all this.
Okay. And Colin?
Well, it's nice to see that I'm not the only one who didn't bother to look at the YouTube or DIY community at all before buying a printer.
Exactly.
It was as I was drinking my coffee, I was listening to you guys, Don and Mike, about how they got going, and I was realizing that really I didn't do enough research. I had no idea that there was. I mean, I knew vaguely that there was a DIY community out there, but I didn't know it was so established on YouTube. I didn't know, who were the lead people there. My knowledge of 3D printing went from an investment in 3D systems to awareness of the RepRap project, which
so you're in the same boat as me.
I didn't really care about it, back years and years ago. I cared about it only because 3D Systems stock was tanking at that time because all the patents had expired, and so 3D Systems was trading at like $160 a share or something at that time, and it tanked. So cut to what, 5-6 years later, the 3D Systems Cube came out, and that was vaguely interesting because now you had established companies trying to penetrate the consumer market. It seemed like a half-baked product. Didn't bother with it, but it was interesting. Then cut to a few years later when I had my problem with my cell phone. I needed to design a clip, and I didn't want to do it with an elastic, so I looked around, and I want to say a buddy of mine sent me a link to a monoprice Maker Select Mini on Amazon, but it's entirely possible that Amazon sent me the link. It could have been just one of those Amazon promo emails. And I said, okay, well, this will get the job done, and went out and bought the thing. I think it was a flash sale or something, so I didn't have a lot of time to think about it. So yes, I fell into that marketing trap. Anyway, it solved my problem. I was able to print the clip I was trying to print. Eventually, after I did some research, and we were discussing this the other day, found the magic numbers for the Z the layer height, because the way the thread pitch on the Z rod there is set up, it's really very precise, it requires very precise settings. So once I figured that out, then I had started to do some research, and then I came across Tom, I think, who answered some question about I think it was part cooling. I think it was, and because their cooling solution sucked on the thing, and from there I think I discovered Angus and so on. But yeah, it was after the fact. I had already had a printer at that time and achieved my primary objective. Did I leave? Oh, I did leave my other print. I said that my phone clip was my second print, and I went out and got my first clip, my first print, and left it in the kitchen. But I found on Thingiverse a little Lego minifigure which I tried to print, and it ended up legless, but it's still there, complete with its little Doctor Who crown shroud thing.
Nice.
So, Colin, your 3D systems experience, was that like before like the Cube 3 like that I got involved with, or was that
I mean,
part of the...
I looked at it from an investor standpoint.
Okay.
And this was before the Cube came out, and I don't know how the rapid that progression was from the Cube 1 through Cube 3, but I think, you know, I have been following the 3D printing odyssey on like Slashdot or something primarily, as these things came along. But yeah, I didn't. I guess that means I'm lazy. I should do more research.
Well, you know what YouTube is there for, right?
Yes. Well, I've become an avid YouTube watcher and a very lazy YouTube creator.
You know, it's funny you bring up the whole YouTube thing, Colin, because like for me, I found out about the Prusa through YouTube, and that was why that's why I wanted to get the Prusa, was because when we were looking at the Dragon Lock prints and the open lock prints, they were, a lot of people were saying, you know, hey, the MK2 was just amazing with it. And then what I did is I, you know, looked at the MK2, and then I saw that the MK3 was coming out, and that was one of the reasons I got that Cube 3, was because the MK3 was going to be so long before it was delivered.
Yeah.
And I just knew, and I had already known the Cube 3, and I was like, all right, I'll just get a Cube 3, because I got it for like $120 off eBay. And I was like, all right, I'm already familiar with it. I'll get it and use it until the Prusa comes out, and then I'll just resell it. But yeah, trying to resell that thing right now is just not gonna fly.
Yeah. But I think I was watching Tom avidly. I found his live unboxing was very entertaining. Back when he was doing lots of them, like every week there was a new printer. And people were always asking him about the ANET A8, which he refused to do, or no, I think his complaint was they had said they were going to send one to him, but they never did or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. Anyway.
Yeah, he had a lot of issues with that, yeah.
Yeah, he never got around to doing it within any reasonable time frame. But he was saying, yes, it's the cheapest kit and, you know, this sort of thing, which it was at the time. I think he did an unboxing of the CR10, which there was a lot of pre-promotional buzz about. But the day he did the unboxing of the day after he did the unboxing of the CR10, I ordered both a CR10 and an A8. And
Wait,
part of the point.
Swing?
Well, you know, I wanted a printer that was going to just work, and then I wanted something that would keep me entertained. And they achieved those objectives, at least for a while. Part of the point also was to have something to do with my then girlfriend's son, who's I think he was 14 at the time. It seemed like a fun little project. We had messed around with Google Cardboard and built, you know, a pizza box based cardboard goggles and so on. So I figured this would be an interesting logical extension from that. And at that time, I was trying to, come up with bonding experiences, So we broke up, and then the printer showed up. So I thought about doing a live unboxing and assembly of the A8, but I couldn't be bothered to set up the camera system that I wanted, because at that time I didn't have a bunch of webcams. I had a bunch of old cell phones that I was going to use with various apps to run video through. Put them on tripods and run it that way, which of course would suck up my Wi-Fi and make broadcast very difficult. In the end, though, I'm glad I didn't do it for different reasons, because once I opened that box, I realized how much peeling of laminate off of plexiglass I'd have to do. Not plexiglass, whatever the hell that stuff, whatever the hell it's called.
Acrylic.
Yeah, and that took like 45 minutes of peeling and scraping and shit to get all that off. So that would have been very boring. But at the same time, it would have gotten me into 3D print streaming a lot sooner, I guess.
Yeah.
But I had plenty of time then, because I had many hours to myself. So
that reminds me of a couple.
Sometimes that's not a bad thing, Colin. Trust me. Sometimes that's not a bad thing.
No,
because I have no time.
It was actually a bad thing, because part of the point was of picking this up was I needed a distraction from the aggravation of remodeling my house.
Wow.
So this served as that kind of distraction.
Yeah.
Been there doing that.
Yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah,
I think I finally found a contractor who can deliver. We'll see.
Yeah, Colin, that kind of reminds me of a couple of weeks ago when Slug was live with us, and he was doing the build from that Prusa backwards.
Intentionally backwards?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the way how it looked in the pictures on eBay. Yeah. So that's the way how he was going to build it.
Yeah. But he spent the first 45 minutes, I think it was, peeling off paper.
Oh, this was an AA8, not a Prusa?
No, what that was I thought that was a Trunksy.
Trunksy? Oh, yeah, well, I guess.
It was a Trunksy 802. PA 802.
Yeah.
That's why I bought it. I found it for $99, and I was going to buy one because that was my first printer, and I wanted to see how bad it still was, and if I had learned anything over the past year. And my wife, I had to buy my wife's crap.
Okay, so now I got a question for Ricky on the Trunksy. So you had mentioned the Trunksy is a tinkering machine. Mm-hmm. Now that you have had it for a while and printed on it a fair bit, do you still feel you have to tinker with it a lot?
No. I haven't had to tinker with my Trunksy at all, but it's because mine was pre-tinkered with by Chris Riley.
Hey, Walter, I have a question for you.
By the time it got to my hands, it had already been worked over by the masterful hands of Chris Riley.
On my Google Hangouts, it's not switching between people. It stays on me unless I click it,
I see Joe in YouTube right now.
Well, I know because I'm clicking on people.
Okay.
I'm selecting them. Otherwise, it doesn't show them. It just shows me. Like right now, it's just showing me.
Mike, most likely, that is your Hangouts program has a glitch or a hang in it right now. You're most likely going to have to close out Hangouts in order to correct that.
Yeah,
which means closing all your Chrome.exe apps. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna kill the stream. That's aggravating.
Yeah, so basically kill the stream and start over.
Right.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what that's going to be.
It's doable, depending how frustrating clicking on buttons is.
Oh yeah, I know, but
Well,
I didn't know if there
would
was
it really?
I
It would
went
kill
through
us.
everything and shut everything down except for YouTube and Hangout, of course.
Well, because I was going to say YouTube. If you kept YouTube open, your stream would stay up. You might drop us out of the YouTube for the moment while you restart that, but we'll still be in Hangouts together.
But how would I restart the? I don't know how to restart the
Hangouts.
So that's the question. The Hangout isn't going anywhere, but is the YouTube stream running off of Mike's Hangout view, or is it directly from Google's Hangout server infrastructure to Google's YouTube server infrastructure?
Well, see, I can leave call. I can hang up. I don't know if that will kill you guys. It won't kill my broadcast.
It won't kill us. And if you say it won't kill your broadcast, then let's see.
I don't know if I go down to the bottom, it says stop broadcast.
Yeah, but you're just not broadcasting us together, but we're still going to be on Hangouts together. And then you rejoin the Hangouts and then rebroadcast it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put the Google Hangouts back in the chat. All right, I'm gonna hang up then. See what happens. If I lose everybody, I'll restart it.
You'll see a new stream momentarily if that's the case.
Yeah. Olivia, hello.
Okay, there is a new one.
Hey, who the heck was that? Oh, that's Joe.
Yeah, sorry.
Close-up view.
I gotta mute myself. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna hang up here.
Okay.
I'm going to take this moment to go
broadcast. Continue broadcast. Well, no, it wants to kill the broadcast.
Yeah, it'll kill the stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone in the stream can rejoin as soon as you have the new stream up.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to kill it then. I got to kill the stream and restart it again to get this to work properly.
Yeah.
So just watch for it quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.